From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 1st, 2017. We opened the news today with the deadly terror attack that left 8 people dead and a dozen injured in Lower Manhattan yesterday. 5 of the victims were citizens of Argentina, a group of friends celebrating a high school reunion, among them a well-known Jewish businessman, 48-year-old Ariel Erlich. Israel extended its deep condolences after the attack yesterday. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin said, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of New York," and that Israel and the USA stand shoulder to shoulder in the fight against terror. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We stand with our friends in New York and all Americans following yet another horrible Islamist terror attack." The terrorist, 29-year-old Saifullo Saipov, who had come to the U.S. 7 years ago from Uzbekistan, rammed a truck into cyclists on the West Side bike path yesterday afternoon before being shot and injured and taken into custody by police. He is believed to have been radicalized here in the U.S. and had pledged his allegiance to the Islamic State. And Netanyahu and Rivlin today led a ceremony at Jerusalem's Mount Herzl Cemetery to remember former Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. Today is the 22nd anniversary of the Hebrew date of Rabin's assassination, which took place on November the 4th of 1995. Rivlin, in his remarks, called the assassination one of the greatest tragedies to befall the Israeli people. Rabin was shot and killed during a rally in support of peace talks in Tel Aviv by radical right-wing Jewish extremist Yigal Amir. Rivlin said that there was a very delicate balance that must be struck within Israeli democracy to allow for dialogue and disagreement without compromising national unity. Rivlin said of the assassination, it didn't just eat away at Israeli democracy, but ripped apart its very fabric, adding, "We have been trying to heal the breach ever since, and will continue to do so." And Prime Minister Netanyahu is flying to London tonight to take part in centenary celebrations of the Balfour Declaration. Netanyahu will meet with British Prime Minister Theresa May and with UK Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson tomorrow on a number of issues, including the Iran nuclear deal. And then tomorrow evening, take part in a gala dinner with May honoring the Balfour Declaration, with members of the Balfour family in attendance. The declaration, which paved the way for the establishment of the State of Israel, was signed on November the 2nd of 1917, and we will have special programming tomorrow on JBS to commemorate the historic event. Israeli security forces conducted a joint operation last night in the West Bank, arresting several Palestinians thought to have been accomplices in the murder last month of 69-year-old Reuven Shmerling. Shmerling, if you recall, was found in a storage unit in the Arab-Israeli town of Kfar Qasim in the West Bank, where he owned a business. And it was unclear at the time if the murder was over a business dispute of some sort or whether it was a nationalistically motivated attack. On Sunday, 2 Palestinian men were indicted for Shmerling's premeditated murder in what police now say was terror. Those suspects telling them that they carried out the stabbing to avenge a friend, a Palestinian who was shot dead while trying to stab Israeli troops at a West Bank checkpoint back in 2015. Last night during the IDF raid, several Palestinians suspected of helping in Shmerling's murder were detained. The State Attorney General of New Jersey filed a lawsuit last week against the township of Mahwah for allegedly discriminating against ultra-Orthodox Jews in the neighboring town of Muncie, New York. Chris Perino filed the 9-count complaint to the Bergen County Superior Court on October the 24th against a call for the removal of PVC pipes that have been fixed to utility poles in Mahwah to create an eruv, the marking of an area that allows observant Jews to carry on the Sabbath. We had reported to you on this story several months ago that Mahwah council members claimed that the eruv was signage and therefore not allowed on the poles. But Perino alleges that Mahwah is rather trying to keep the ultra-Orthodox Jews out of their town. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, November the 1st at 7 o'clock, Holocaust survivor Moshe Avital shares his story on Witness. At 8, a look at the impact of Judaism on modern political thought and Jewish political affiliation. At 9 tonight, historians Deborah Dashimura of the University of Michigan and Jeffrey Gurak of Yeshiva University speak to Mark Golub about the history of New York City and of the Jews of New York, chronicled in their book, Jews of New York, The Remarkable Story of a City and a People. At 10, Jewish journalists talk about their careers, and coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 1st, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.